This copy of Zelda 2 for the NES was working, but it wasn't working at the same time. Let me show you what I mean and how I fixed it. My name's Chris and I'm the owner of the online retro video game store bitjumpgaming.com. I post videos about retro gaming, my store, and other cool things I like to talk about. I was cleaning up all these NES games that I showed in my video previously, and all of them were working except this one. Except it was working. Problem was, every time I turned on the power, the game would come on, it would start to play the music, you'd see a perfect picture, but it started blinking. LED was blinking, the picture was blinking. So for me, that showed the console was able to read the game, but it wasn't able to communicate with that CIC chip. For the NES, Nintendo had a creative way of keeping unlicensed, pirated, or any kind of software that wasn't licensed by them from being played on the NES. There's a chip both on the cartridge as well as on the console. That thing was called the CIC chip. And those two chips would communicate with each other when the game was inserted into the console. For those who owned an NES, I'm sure you're familiar with times when turn the console on, the power LED light was blinking and the picture was blinking as well. This happens when the CIC in the NES and in the console are not communicating with each other. 99% of the time, this is just because the cartridge is dirty. Here's 3 different NES cartridges. If this is the first time you're seeing them, this is probably a lot smaller than you realize. But each of them have that CIC chip. I was fairly certain this was the cause of the issue. Even if it wasn't, it's a simple fix to switch them back. But lucky for me, popped it in, first try, it worked. No more blinking. Normally, if you're seeing that issue where it's blinking, you're probably not seeing a good picture as well. That just means you need to clean up the cartridges, and I would recommend using Q-tips, 99% isopropyl alcohol, or at least 90%. Don't use 70% or especially lower. Make sure it's completely dry, and then give it a test in your NES. If that still doesn't work, I would recommend opening up the cartridge, then examining the pins very closely to see if there's any dark marks or things like that. Once you have it out, you can also continue to use the alcohol to really clean those pins well. The only time you would replace the CIC chip is if you're having a similar issue like mine. You have good picture, but you're having the flashing as well. This one joins the pile of all the NES games that I recently picked up. They're all clean and tested, confirmed to work. I'm going to put them as inventory for sale on my store. Some great games in here like the original Ninja Turtles, Turtles 2, Batman, the original Legend of Zelda, and of course, Zelda II, Link's Adventure, and a couple copies of Contra. If you're interested in these or anything else in my store, be sure to use the coupon in my bio. If you have questions about NES games, cleaning, refurbishing, anything like that, leave a comment below. Happy to answer.